What's good, everybody? It's your boy Eric West here, and I posted up in the Discord asking if anybody wanted to do any more music reactions specifically to my stuff. I spoke with the other members of Homeboys, and they thought it'd be a pretty good idea, so I wanted to come try it. I'm outside, so forgive any background noise. We're going to be looking at a lot of old stuff. It's going to be pretty badly produced and all that, so don't judge it too harshly. We're going to be checking out The Shadow, and this was a song I did for Halloween back in 2014. Let's check it out.
No, not you. Not you. Not again. No.
Oh God.
No.
So
Stop.
terrible.
No.
I'm gonna let it ride out before I say anything. Okay, so that has a funny story to it, as you can probably imagine. I was actually at a youth center. There's all these kids everywhere. They were much younger than me. They were in middle school. So for American school, that's like between the ages of 11 to 13 or like 11 to 14, something like that. Middle school here is like 3 years more or less. And I was recording that in the studio. Didn't really realize, or maybe I was just pretending not to notice, that there was like this choir class or some sort of class happening right next to me, so they had to deal with that. Really scared all the kids, and there's this little window in the studio, and they would all stare outside and put their faces up to the glass trying to see what the hell was going on and what the hell I was doing, and it freaked them out. The people were scared of me for like a week. It was pretty funny, and it took me like 3 days to record this before some teacher finally said, "Hey, can you like stop?" I was trying to get the right laugh, and I got in trouble for it, so I hope it was worth it. I think it was.
Other night thought I felt someone with me. I was staring at a shadow. He looked at me and he asked, "Did you miss me?" I felt the air thickening, started getting hotter. I could feel my sweat trickling. Then he says, "I've been listening, I know what you've done." And then he started giggling. "Tell me what is happening. All of this is maddening." Last time
Okay, so if you're watching this reaction, I highly recommend listening with earphones, because I have this weird like buzzing effect that I created with my voice, and obviously I want it to come through much clearer if I was going to redo it now, but I wouldn't replace that effect. I would find a way to make my voice clear but still keep it, because it's really nice, that distortion that I have in my voice. As far as the context, I vaguely remember this, I think. So this was 7 years ago from when I'm recording this, and I do remember having this feeling like I was always being watched, I was always being followed, and it was really creepy and disturbing. Might have had some really interesting nightmares at the time too, but I don't clearly remember it, so take it with a grain of salt.
I met the devil in the middle of the night.
Okay, well, that answers that then. I guess that's what happened. Okay, cool.
Saw him standing over me, he looked me in the eye, couldn't breathe, tried to flee. He said, "Don't feel surprised, I came for you before, but somehow you survived."
So that's a really cool trick to use as a musician. Is there's a lot of different ways you can layer your vocals, like stack recordings on top of each other, and you can do it so many different ways and layer so many different kinds of effects on top of one another for all these different results, and this is one of them. I have like a talking one and like a almost sing-songy melodic fake kind of one, and it gives you that effect of two voices speaking at the same time. But like they can be heard separately but together. It's nice. I like it.
I gave him a straight face. "What is it that you want now? I wanted your soul, but I just want to talk now. I just want to help you." I said, "That's not true. I usually talk about me, but I'm here to talk about you. What you know about me, a lot more than you think. I've been watching you since back before you could blink. What are you, my stalker? You don't seem to understand. You wanted to be a rapper, I'm your #1 fan. I'm here to give you guidance." I said, "But I don't need it." He said, "You have a lot of issues, you don't want to see it. Sometimes you act selfish, you know it all too well. You only do good things so you don't go to hell."
Okay, so that's actually I got really deep on this. I didn't realize that. I don't know what my whole thing with the devil was at this point. I really couldn't tell you, but that's a philosophy that I have been trying to play with a lot for the past like 2-3 years specifically. I'm like, am I really a good person, or am I doing these kind things for these people because I believe there's a heaven, and because I believe like I'm stacking up a list of reasons why I should be let in, you know? Like where do you draw the line? Because if I'm doing it just for that, then I'm not really a good person. I'm a selfish person for doing these kind things, you know? It's a really interesting concept to think about.
To hell, but I'm a good person. No, you're not. Stop lying. You're only ever there when it's a girl that's crying. You say you always help people who never do the same, but you never let them help you. I can see through your game.
So that was definitely an issue that I had. I'm gonna be honest about that. I noticed one day, because I was always like, hey, you know, nobody ever checks up on people when they post like stuff on social media clearly begging for help, so I'm gonna make an active effort to do that. And I started to realize, like, hey, I kind of only do that when it's a girl posting something kind of messed up, you know. When it's a guy, I'm a lot more okay with scrolling past that, and that's changed a lot for me. I think I've done a much better job of checking up on all of my guy friends and everything, just as much as I check up on my girlfriends. So that's a really good. I like how aware I was at this point, because how old was I in 2014? I was like 14 years old when I was recording this. It's crazy. Let's keep it rolling.
Speaking truth, you better learn to shut up. Better learn who you're speaking to.
A nice dialogue going on.
Other night, thought I felt someone with me.
There we go.
I was staring at a shadow. He looked at me and he asked, did you miss me? I felt the air thickening, started getting hotter, I can feel my sweat trickling. Then he says, I've been listening, I know what you done, and then he started giggling. Tell me what is happening, all of this is maddening.
I'm in the
So
city.
I think in that hook, I was describing like a dream that I had where I was in the same room with Satan or something like that. That's what it feels like I was writing. Again, I don't remember anything that was going on at this time, but there have been many times where I feel like, oh man, like I don't know what it is, but I feel like I'm gonna die today, like just have some freak accident right here right now. And I kind of start looking over my shoulder about the whole day, and when that happens, that could last for like weeks sometimes. There's been period of times where I'm just on a bus and I'm like, I don't know what it is, but I can't be in any kind of car, like something really, really bad's gonna happen. So I would try to avoid taking buses or riding in people's cars for a few months. It's really disturbing. It's really creepy to explain, but you know, that's probably somewhat related to what was going on in this hook. I like, again, the distortion in the voice. I like the dialogue that I set up where it's just me talking to this entity, whatever, and I really love just how hard the voice is going in the background. It's eerie, but it's beautiful. I love it a lot.
Think you're safe with your friend, you find a presence comforting, but really it's me. Sometimes I'm disguised as some of them. No, you're not real, you like to think that, wouldn't you? Sometimes you hear voices and you have no idea what to do. I can tell you're feeling lost, Eric, come take my hand. I'll make your wishes come true, I can give you fans. He extends his arm to me, now tell me what you gon' do. I reach for it to slap it away, I would never join you. I'm not controlled by no one, especially not Lucifer, but I was your friend, well I wouldn't mind losing you.
Okay, so at this point in time, I can tell that I was having a lot of questions about some of the people that I had around me. And so I used, even if I wasn't like really going through this whole, oh, you know, I spoke to the devil kind of thing, if that wasn't the case and it wasn't this paranoia I was going through, then I'm using this as a metaphor or a symbolism for something. And I felt that whatever it was that was going wrong in my life, it was everywhere. And I was questioning a lot of the friendships that I had, the majority of the friendships that I had. And to this day, out of all the friends I had at this point in time, which, you know, I was decently popular sophomore year, so I could have easily had 50 plus friends because I talked to everyone everywhere, in and out of school. But but out of those 50 plus friends, I'm only like really friends with 2 to 3 of them to this day. So, you know, yeah, that was something that was heavily on my mind for sure.
He started growing angry, now you're gonna pay. Don't think that this is over, I'll return another day. I felt my vision growing impaired. He laughed one last time and then he vanished into the air.
And then back into the chorus.
Other night thought I felt someone with me. I was staring at a shadow. He looked at me and he asked, did you miss me?
Cool. How would I rate this overall? I'm gonna keep this a really short reaction because my laptop's dying like crazy. I'm exporting a video at the same time and I'm outside, so there's no charger. How I'd rate it: hook is pretty catchy, like the distortion. Nothing's really clear. The concept is great. I really love the beat selection. I think that the verse and the beats is very well married together. As for actual execution, there's some awkward spaces because I was still not fully aware of what I was doing. Some of them didn't have quite the right tone behind them, so the punches were really lacking. They felt melodramatic and corny instead of dramatic and powerful. And, you know, obviously quality was terrible. I didn't know a third of the things that I know now, and I had much better equipment back then than I do now. But that's gonna be it. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Turn your appearance to a disappearance. I fuck with nothing but gangsters, nothing but hustler niggas. Sound off, sound off.